Hello, my name is Madison Duddy and this is Jack, and he will be the victim in this scenario. In this video, I'm going to show you how to safely use gloves and control bleeding from a wound. The first thing that you should do is approach the victim and let them know that you're first aid certified and ask them if they need any help. This will go something like this. Hi, I'm Madison and I'm first aid certified. Do you need any help?
Yes, I have a cut on my forearm.
Okay, can you show me where the cut is?
It's right here.
Once you have introduced yourself, you will wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based cleanser. And in this scenario, I'm going to use an alcohol-based cleanser. Once you have done that, you're going to put your gloves on to help prevent blood from getting on you and help prevent the spread of contamination and diseases from both the wound and yourself. Once you put on your gloves, you first need to expose the wound by removing or cutting the person's clothing to find the source of bleeding, and you can then inspect the wound. In this case, it's just a clean cut, so all that needs to be done is to clean the cut and bandage it. Make sure you tell the victim what you're doing before you start. Your cut is a clean cut, so all you need to do is clean it and then bandage it. To clean the cut, you will find a sterile dressing or a clean cloth of any kind. In this case, you will use it to apply pressure with your fingers and attempt to control the bleeding from the wound. If this were a larger cut, I would then use the palm of my hand to apply pressure to the wound instead of my fingers. You will hold steady and firm and uninterrupted pressure on the wound for at least 5 minutes. The gauze or cloth allows you to evenly apply pressure, and direct pressure stops most bleeding. Applying direct pressure to the wound compresses the sides of the torn vessels and helps the body's natural clotting mechanisms to work. Be sure the pressure remains constant if it is not too light and is directly applied to the bleeding source. If the bleeding does not stop within 10 minutes, add more dressings onto the first one and apply more pressures over a wider area. Make sure not to remove blood-soaked dressing and instead add dressings over the old ones so you do not dislodge any clot that has already formed. Once the bleeding has stopped, you need to use a bandage to hold the dressing over the wound. For this scenario, I'll be using the spiral method of bandaging a forearm with a roller bandage. To do this, start at the narrow part of the arm and wrap upward toward the wider part of the arm to make the bandage more secure. Start below at the edge of the dressing and make 2 straight anchoring turns with the bandage. Make a series of crisscross or figure 8 turns progressing up the arm. Each turn should overlap the previous wrap. When you're finished wrapping the arm, finish with 2 straight turns and secure the bandage. To ensure that the bandage is not too tight, ask the victim to move their hand and their arm around. Okay.
Good.
Once this is done, the victim has been taken care of unless the bleeding continues. If the bleeding continues, call 911 if they've already not been called. Once you're finished taking care of the victim, you need to properly remove your gloves. To properly remove your gloves, you start by pinching one glove at the outside near the wrist and gently pull off the glove while keeping it inside out. When the first glove is removed, ball it up in your gloved hand. To remove the second glove, slide 2 fingers of your bare hand inside the remaining glove at your wrist and gently stretch the glove from your hand and pull off the glove inside out, making sure the first glove always remains in the second glove. Next, you need to dispose of the glove in a biohazard container or a sealed plastic bag. When you've properly removed your gloves, make sure you wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. After you properly dispose of your gloves and wash your hands, you are done.